downtown Houston, Texas. That's where the best pro beach volleyball players in the world have descended upon. Welcome everybody, come inside. It's the AVP Crocs Tour Houston Open, presented by Warehouse Pool Supply. Today we have a great matchup for you as number 1 Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs take on number 2 Jen Kessy and April Ross. Welcome everybody, I'm Chris McGee along with 3-time Olympian Holly McPeak. Holly, let's start with number 1, Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs. They have been dominant, 24-0. What has set them apart this year from everybody else?
EY and Nicole are playing error-free volleyball. That's keeping the errors to a minimum. They also feel much more relaxed this year, being that it's not an Olympic year, they feel less pressure.
Jen Kessy and April Ross, the frustrations continue to mount against this team. They are 7-17 all time. What do they need to do differently today to win?
Differently is the key word. Jen and April want to change things up against EY and Nicole. They might have Jen Kessy run up to the net and block. They might try serving some short balls, doing anything to mix it up to have some success.
Time for the Bud Light Tournament recap. Our Final Four, Denecashe and Dodd, and Hanson Rutledge with the other two teams. Holly, what jumps out at you when you look at this page?
Well, Fontana and Kropp, their first tournament together, placing 5th. They were the 10th seed, and another strong finish for Denecashe, Dodd, and Hanson Rutledge, who are right there every weekend.
All right, we are set at the Westside Tennis Center in Houston, Texas. Chris McGee along with Holly McPeak and St. John Smith. Number 1 versus number 2. They have met already this year in our first 2 finals. EY and Nicole came out on top of that one. Ross and Kessy are trying to change the mojo. April Ross, our first server out of USC, 26 years of age. Tough jump serve to start things off. They'll get a free ball nice and high. Ross goes hard angle off the block, controlled by Branagh and Youngs. Off the tape and good for 1-0.
Huge play for EY and Nicole. April Ross just bombed her serve. They got EY and Nicole in trouble, but were able to dig the ball in transition. Not easy to score points on EY and Nicole, and that's why they've been winning tournaments.
Nicole Branagh, 30 years of age, 10 open wins. She grew up in Northern California. She went to the University of Minnesota. Branagh at 6'2". They go to Kessy. Kessy goes behind the set. And Kessy wisely at the net, taps it over the block and good for 1-1.
I talked to Nicole before this final. She just said she feels more free this year. She feels, obviously she's gained a lot of experience, but she feels freer, less stress, and just feels like she's grown as a player. And I think it shows in her play.
Jen Kessy, 31 years old. Also went to USC, where she was an All-American. Lives in San Clemente, California. She's the reigning goddess of the beach. Won that tournament last year in Glendale, Arizona. And Branagh from the right side tools the block of April Ross. The score is now 2-1 Branagh Youngs. Elaine Youngs, 4-time All-American out of UCLA. 3-time Olympian, 39 years old, 45 career wins, and a former partner of yours.
One of the best ever. I think she's getting better too. Game's more all around now.
Youngs after the dig, taps it. Ross digs it. Ross from the left side. And April with an off-speed shot that falls right in front of Nicole Branagh for 2-2.
April Ross has really improved as a defensive player, and one of the things she does really well is puts the ball away in transition. She just sees the court well, has a good hand on the ball. That means she can hammer the ball or cut it or shoot it short, and she has a lot of success with that.
April Ross was a 2-time national champion at USC, went to Newport Harbor High School in Newport Beach, California, played for Dan Glenn. She's definitely one of the rising stars on this tour. She's actually already there as a rising star. She's one of the best players in the world.
She's
no
absolutely
question.
one of the best players and super confident this year. I think she knows the game. She's not really learning it. You're always learning beach volleyball, but I feel like she's there.
After the bomb from Branagh, score is 3-2 in game 1. Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs are 24-0 this year on the AVP Crocs Tour. Kessy buries that ball from the right side. That was a great set by April Ross from way off the net.
Well, that's something they've been working on all week, is pushing the ball out a little wider for Jen Kessy, and that way she has more range to hit that sharp angle or that high line.
You talked about at the opening, we might see Jen Kessy going to the net as the game gets going, blocking full time. Right now, April Ross is at the net. Kessy will play defense.
The best combo for them is Jen Kessy at the net, April Ross playing defense, in my opinion.
As we switch sides, we'll take a look at the Crocs Cup standings. This will all end in Chicago at the end of the year, our tour championship. Elaine Youngs right now in the lead, Kessy and Ross at number 2. Look at Hansen and Rutledge. First time playing together. They've had 4 tournaments. They're in the 6th spot.
Brooke Hansen and Lisa Rutledge playing fantastic volleyball, as well as Diane Denekashe and Carrie Dodd.
What about Angie Akers and Tyra Turner?
Angie Akers and Tyra Turner look great from the start and have been dealing with a couple injuries lately and just struggling in the last couple tournaments.
Big serve down the line. Ross on 2. Got it for 4-4. I think a key for Kessy especially is going to be her passing. She's gotten in trouble during these last couple of finals against EY Nicole.
EY Nicole put a lot of pressure on their opponents with their tough serving, and that's what really helps them win tournaments, because you're always on the defensive playing EY and Nicole.
One thing I like about Jen Kessy when you talk to her, she owns up to it. After finals, before finals, she'll say, hey, this one's going to be on me. They're going to go at me, and I have to deliver.
Well, if you're in this position, you're in the finals, there's 2 of you, there's no hiding. You have to take responsibility, and that she knows that's going to be siding out for her and scoring points.
5-4, Nicole Branagh. Set to serve here in Houston, Texas. Big serve down the middle to Ross. Ross will go to the backside, which is the right side. A great off-speed shot. EY laid it out, but unable to come up with it.
Nice little soft shot over the block, and EY's in the air, so it's hard to turn and get that ball right over her.
One thing I notice is April Ross will swing from left to right in attack, and Kessy will go from right to left. Why do they do that?
Well, they just feel like they're moving the defense, moving things around, creating some space so they have more opportunity to attack the ball.
EY from 5 feet off, buries it at Ross. Ross scoops it right into the middle of the air, gets a good transition set, and cuts it good, 6-5.
Great defense by April Ross, no block in front of her, and she just stands in there and digs that hard-driven ball by EY.
6-5.
Now you see Jen Kessy running to the net.
Kessy will float and go. Tough short serve. Ross attacks on 2, and it hits the tape. 7-5.
2 things that she told me about prior to this match. They're going to try to serve short, and they're going to have Jen Kessy run to the net, and they got 2 quick points.
When a team becomes dominant, like a Carrie Walsh and a Misty May Trainer, or Phil Dahlhauser and a Todd Rogers on the men's side, now Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh, the rest of the tour has to find a way to beat them.
You're right, and when you face them, you have to go for it. You have to be aggressive. You have to change things up and see what works.
EY's blocked by Kessy, 8-5.
I think if you're a primary blocker, it helps you to get a better read. Watch Jen Kessy. She gets her feet to the ball, nice press over with her hands. But I think the more often you block, the better feel you get and in a better rhythm at the net. She blocks 2 balls in a row.
EY saves it. Kessy attacks it, 9-5. So Jen Kessy and April Ross with the start they needed here in Houston, Texas, leading 9-5 here in game number 1. We'll be back in just a few moments with more AVP Crocs Tour volleyball action.
Welcome back to the AVP Crocs Tour AVP Houston Open, presented by Warehouse Pool Supply. Jen Kessy and April Ross leading 9-5, 16-12. And Elaine Youngs just 2 weeks ago. One of the greatest players of all time to ever play women's professional beach volleyball, retired, and she happened to be my broadcast partner, Holly McPeak. Here's what her former partner, Elaine Youngs, had to say about it.
I think there's a lot of players who are constantly losing to her that are breathing a little sigh of relief, I think. But the sport of volleyball, beach volleyball, and the AVP, she's meant so much. She's been a great ambassador. She's one of the people her and Karch, I can put them in the same category. Whatever they've asked of them, they've done.
Well, here I am with Holly McPeak. And Holly, how has it been for you these last couple weeks?
Well, it was the right decision for me. When I woke up the Sunday morning after San Diego, I just knew it was time. I wasn't playing at the level that I wanted to be playing. And I just feel like I've had such a great career. I don't have any more to prove, and it's time to move on.
Well, someone who's been a part of your career for a long time, Mr. St. John Smith, the third member of our broadcast team, is standing by. St. John, your thoughts on Holly?
Well, first of all, Holly is so embarrassed that we're talking about her right now. She hates people talking about how great of a player she was. She's really the reason why most of the players out here are playing today. She's been an incredible role model, and she will continue to be. And look at her stats. We have her stats here. I mean, first one to hit $1 million, 334 tournaments, 72 victories. She won with 7 different partners. Unbelievable, a bronze medal, 5-time MVP. It goes on and on and on.
Great job, St. John. Holly, we can't say enough about your career, and I'm just glad you're sitting next to me doing TV still. I feel like we should be on Oprah's couch.
You're my new partner.
Absolutely. I'm happy. Usually your partners win tournaments, though. 6-9 on the missed serve.
Kessy Ross had some success doing that short serve with Jen Kessy running up to the net. So I think they're going to stick with that.
Elaine Youngs, a bronze medal with Holly. The Olympic Games in Athens 2004. A 5th place finish in Beijing with Nicole Branagh. Tough wrist away serve down the line. Ross about 5 feet off the block. And they call a net on Branagh. I think Branagh netted on the way down and she turned.
She actually made a nice move after the block touch, but just barely touched the net as she was turning.
10-6 here in game number 1.
April Ross has one of the best jump serves in the game today, I think in the world, and she's got the wind in her face right now, so watch her really put a lot of heat on this and go for it.
Now, one thing you will see in this match is great jump serving. EY dives, cannot save it. 11-6. Talked about the jump serving. All these players with tremendous ability to take over a game with the serve, and April Ross is just becoming so good at this.
She puts just a nice little knuckleball, and Nicole Branagh can't control it.
Goes to EY. And EY cuts it cross court. Ross had already gone the other way towards the line, and EY puts it away. 7-11 here in game number 1.
EY and Nicole do such a good job passing that they're able to run a low set. And that low set enables EY to see where the defense is running because they have to commit early because EY can bomb either way.
Float serve at Kessy, good pass. Great play. Elaine Youngs off the block with a perfect set.
Something she does really well. She transition sets and then also off the nice little block touch, and Nicole Branagh at 6'2" can terminate.
8-11. Ross does a nice job backpedaling and setting it. Jen Kessy puts it away. Jen Kessy's in the best shape of her life always. She looks tremendous playing at such a high level.
She is. She feels like, hey, I feel great. Let's go for it. We have nothing to lose. This is an opportunity where we can prove that we're one of the best teams in the world, and she's going for it.
EY taps it for 9-12. Jen Kessy has definitely put in the time in the weight room. She wants to be at the highest level possible. Here's what she had to say about it.
April and I have been doing a lot of, we swim a lot out in the ocean, swim to the buoy and back after practice. We do a lot of hill runs, we do beach runs, and really, we've really focused on just losing that extra couple pounds.
Holly, you played with Jen Kessy, I believe back in 2005. How have you seen her grow as a player?
I feel like she's matured a lot. I feel like she's figured out what her strengths and weaknesses are and focused on the weaknesses. She knows the game well. She uses her long arms and her nice reach, especially on her offense, And these two together, Ross and Kessy, really complement each other. They're best of friends. They train hard together. They really are a team all the way around.
They've won 3 titles together internationally, but they are 0-9 in AVP finals. That's got to weigh heavily on you.
Jen said it's made them really hungry. They really want this.
An absolute rocket serve. Branagh passes it perfectly and buries it to the back line.
April Ross has to make a move on defense. She's just making it a little bit too early, and Nicole Branagh sees that and hits that deep cross court.
Holly, when you watch the athleticism in this game and the physicality, this is a high-level beach volleyball game.
These 4 are playing at a very high level. They're all big, strong. They play defense. They do it all.
Oh, what a dig by Branagh. Kessy runs it down. And a net violation on Elaine Youngs, 14-10.
EY did a great job trying to swat that, and she actually got a nice piece of it, but touched the net in the process.
The AVP Crocs Tour 2009 Houston Open.
Watch EY on this play. First of all, one-arm stab by Nicole Branagh. Jen Kessy gets an opportunity to transition. EY just waits and gets a nice little piece of it. Unfortunately, the net too.
We are in game 1 at 14-10. Kessy with a block. Covered by EY. And almost kept alive by Kessy and Ross.
Kessy's making her presence felt at the net, touching a lot of balls. Nice switch up by them to actually have her run up.
When you played with Jen Kessy back in 2005, she was a full-time blocker at that point, and you were one of the people that said this girl can block.
Yeah, I believe she's can be a full-time blocker, but with April at 6'1", she can also block as well, so they decided to mix it up.
Ace serve, Elaine Youngs, as she does so often, comes up with a big serve at a big time.
You're right, she comes up with aces at big times, and that's a tough serve right down the middle. You see that dropping away from April Ross.
If you're in the final at the end of a match, whether it's a 3rd game or 2nd game, and EY's serving and you're on the other side, you know it's coming at you. We've seen her do it time and time again. Great shot by Kessy, showing some range, goes high line to the corner. 15-12.
Ross and Kessy have been working on that wider set for Jen Kessy so she can hit that high line without the block touching it.
April Ross, a former Rookie of the Year, 2006, and then Most Improved Player in 2007. And during her 3rd season with Jen Kessy. Rifles one at Elaine Youngs. Tough ball to hit over the shoulder. Kessy terminates from the right side, 16-12. Kessy and April Ross keep that 4-point advantage. We'll go to break and be back with more beach volleyball in just a moment. And Holly, as we take a look at the other finishers, Rutledge has become, she is the surprise of the 2009 season, no question.
Lisa Rutledge, we're going to see her in another final. She's so impressive. Her and partner Brooke Hansen doing great. This weekend, Barbara Fontana, Jenny Kropp, big breakthrough, both of their best finishes of the year so far.
Did you have a chance to talk to Jenny Kropp? That is your partner, former partner. You played with her in the first few events of the year. Did you get a chance to talk to her at all this weekend?
I did, just after their finish, and said congratulations, and they were having a lot of fun, so I'm happy for them.
Elaine Youngs buries that ball, 13-16.
The key to Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh's success is great passing, great setting. They're both such great offensive players. When they pass well, they hit a super high percentage.
Is that what really has set them apart? They just do that and serve better than everybody else?
Yeah, definitely. And when they get a lot of opportunities off their tough serve to score points, and there's another tough serve, that really allows them to do what they do best, and that's put the ball away.
14-16. Take a look at the serve, right down the middle.
It looks like it's coming at April Ross, and then it kind of turns and goes towards the middle.
How hard is that ball to pass when it's moving like that in the wind?
It's really hard. You got to make sure you're moving your feet the entire time as a passer.
April Ross falling down, a huge side out and point, 17-14.
This is a nice set by Jen Kessy. She keeps her off the net. April Ross stays behind that ball and hits it high line.
Yeah, you make a great point. When that ball's so tight, that's really smart of Kessy to keep that ball a little bit off. People sometimes try to make it perfect, and that's when it goes over the net.
And for all these 4 players, they can hit the ball off the net because they've got offensive range with their size.
Branagh attacks from the right side, puts it away, 15-17.
Again, it looks like they're blocking Branagh's angle, and April Ross is running to the line just a little bit too early, and Nicole Branagh's seeing that.
Elaine Youngs, who lives in Durango, Colorado, in the off-season. Aces, April Ross, 16-17.
EY and Nicole doing a great job serving, really tough at April Ross. April Ross doesn't shank too many balls. This ball just drops on her.
And April hits it at Branagh, who had her face in her hands because she knows she could have had that one.
She was lined up in a perfect location, just not able to control it.
Ace serve, April Ross, 19-16. Ross and Kessy 0-9 in AVP finals. Here's what Jen Kessy had to say about it.
I think we've gotten to the finals and just haven't performed. Whether it be, there's no excuse for it at all. But I think it's a long season, and I think we're waiting. We're not waiting, but we're on the upswing.
I give these guys a lot of credit, their perseverance. They just missed out on an Olympic bid to Brandon Youngs. They've had their losses in finals, but they keep coming back every single week. And internationally, they've won 3 times.
They're feisty. They're not giving up. And like she said, it's early in the season. They want to be peaking at the right time, and they're just looking for that breakthrough.
Ace serve, April Ross, 20-16. And you wonder, what happens if they do get that one win on the AVP Tour? Will it steamroll from there? You never know.
I think once you break through, you're more confident that monkey's off your back, and I think they will have more success after that.
How important is getting game number 1, especially against Brandon Youngs?
It's huge for this team.
Into the net, 17-20. But they know it won't be enough because they did take the first set in Panama City and then ended up losing in 3.
But it's the first step.
Yeah.
It's the first step, and it's super important to get that victory under your belt.
Crowd clapping here on game point. Houston, Texas. Serve goes into the net, 21-17. Jen Kessy and April Ross, 1-0 here in our women's final in Houston, Texas. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a few moments. Welcome back to Houston, Texas, the AVP Crocs Tour. Our Malibu girls sitting poolside. It's a very popular tent on tour, the Malibu tent. I'm not sure why. This event presented by Warehouse Pool Supply. For all your pool and spa needs, Warehouse Pool Supply, we appreciate their support in Houston, Texas. And if you live in Houston, Holly, you better have a pool. Hence, you should go to Warehouse Pool Supply.
Definitely. Gets hot and humid. You want to be in the cool water.
I was just dropping LBs all weekend here. The hot sun until that rain came last night. I feel like we always get a little bit of rain in Texas.
Texas
This is part of it.
It's unpredictable weather here.
So Ross and Kessy take an 8-7 lead. EY high hard off the hands, 8-8.
Jen Kessy's very good at jumping into the angle as a blocker, and she gets a piece of that one from EY, but EY just hit it too fast and high.
Nicole Branagh has 1 ace this match. Ross drops. And Branagh does the wise thing, hits it right at her, gets away. 9-8.
Great block by April Ross. But it's not easy to cover yourself. Nicole Branagh just got probably 15 feet off the net, grabbed that ball and put it away off the cover. And that's not easy because as you're hitting the ball is hitting the block, you're on your way down and you don't have a lot of time to react. Great play by Nicole Branagh.
This is how much better she's gotten over the last few years. The 2006 and 2008 most improved player. That's voted by the other players. Ross goes to the right side and chops it, and it's down in front of Nicole Branagh. And the one thing I think that's really changed Nicole Branagh's game, obviously, that maturity level that she's gotten to. It's just started to have, just evolved over the last couple years.
I think that comes with confidence. It comes with knowing the game, earning respect from your partner, your peers. And I think she's one of the best players in the world right now.
And I definitely think you can take a little bit of credit. Holly McPeak, your legacy, definitely played with a lot of these women out here, 3 of the 4, as well as Liz Masakine, her coach last year, Elaine Youngs, her partner of a couple years, and now Mike Dodd, their new coach. So she's been around some great people, great volleyball players.
She continues to learn. She's learned a lot of small lessons along the way from some great players, and she continues to build on that.
Mike Dodd, their coach, had to fly home back to Manhattan Beach, California today for father-daughter dance. Got to know your priorities out here, Holly.
Family first. Great cut shot on that play. Just tight ball along the net, just a knuckle pokey for the side out.
Oh, the knuckle pokey.
I like that one. This ball's tight to the net. Look how sharp that is. Nice and tight to the net.
And Branagh hits it down the line, 11-10.
Branagh with the points. Go to AVP.
Let's take a listen in on Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh.
And playing with Nicole too she's growing into her own for sure, and that takes a lot of pressure off me too. I feel like I can depend on her a lot more this year, and she's growing into more of a leader, so that's helpful.
The key right there, she's growing more into that leadership role. It's not just EY or Liz, who was their coach last year, or Mike Dodd. It's Nicole that's starting to lead as well.
I agree with that statement. You see it all the time. I think for a long time, EY was the leader and kind of coach on the court, and they were kind of in Liz as well, telling Nicole, you know, do this, while she was learning. But now you see Nicole saying, hey, let's try this, let's try this. She's got the experience and the confidence to do that on her own now.
Brennan Youngs, 3-0 this year in AVP finals, 24-0 in the year. They took a 4th place finish in Brazil in their only international event. That same tournament, Ross and Kessy took a 2nd place finish. Kessy and Ross have 2 2nd place finishes on the AVP tour and a 2nd place finish on the FIVB tour.
Knocking at the door.
(11-12). Obviously, it's important to win this match, but to get it in 2, how important is that, Holly?
I think they just want a victory. I think if they can win in 2, great, but if they win in 3, they're happy with that too. They're just getting, they want the breakthrough of winning on the AVP tour.
And I say that because Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh are just so good in that game 3.
They are, you're right. They go to game 3s sometimes more often, but they usually win that game 3 about 15-9 on average.
Kessy and Ross have been on fire. They are 9-0. In games this tournament. Ace serve goes to 14-11.
Again, that's a clutch serve from EY, really trying to pull away from Kessy and Ross. They want that game too.
Another big serve. Oh, it's a fast bump set out to the pin. That's a great set by Kessy.
Kessy and Ross run a dynamic offense. They like it high, they like it wide, they like a variety, and they feel like, hey, we're dynamic players. We can use this to our advantage. I think it's a little bit more high risk, but when they do it well, they can really create some opportunities on offense.
That's not easy to do, to roll that up as a bump set with fast tempo all the way to the antenna.
It's not.
Oh, EY, that's a tough pass. She makes it perfect. That ball started to float up on her.
It did. She got her platform out. deflected the ball into a perfect spot for Nicole to set.
15-12. Branagh Youngs here in game number 2. Chris McGee alongside Holly McPeak and St. John Smith. Kessy and Ross, 21-17 in game 1. Now down 3. Very crucial time for them. Do not want to give Branagh Youngs too big of a lead. Oh, what a dig. Branagh, a dig and delivery. 16-12. Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs up by 4. We'll be right back in just a moment.
They want to win this game. It's within
They don't want to mess around and go 3.
No, especially against EY and Nicole.
EY buries it. Kessy retreated kind of late and open net for Youngs. Made him pay. 18-16.
I hear Nicole Branagh's older brother John and his wife Megan yelling, "Come on, Coley." That's what they call their little sister Nicole. They drove down from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, off-speed shot. Makes it 18-17. Log on to the most comprehensive volleyball site on the net, avp.com. Go there today. A great place to catch exclusive live streaming video, participate in the world's first fantasy game, purchase authentic merchandise and tickets. avp.com, your online home for all things volleyball. 18-17. Crucial part of the match, especially for Kessy and Ross, who were just down 4, 16-12. They found a way to get back in.
And look who's serving.
And Branagh, a great poke, 19-17.
That ball was set tight to the net, and Jen Kessy did a good job reaching over. She did a good job reaching over in the face of Nicole Branagh. Nicole Branagh just outreaches her over line.
Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh are 5-0 in finals versus Jen Kessy and April Ross. There's that poke cut. Brandon's there to gobble it up and put it away down the line. 20-17, game point, game number 2 for Branagh Youngs. Our all-time leaders, women's professional beach volleyball Misty May trainer, Carrie Walsh at the top with 105-103. My partner, Holly McPeak, at 72. And in the number 9 slot, Holly McPeak, is Elaine Youngs with 45, and she is creeping up into that top 5, top 6.
I think she's creeping up towards number 8, if she can get one today.
Kessy beats it just past the block, 18-20.
On that last attack, Jen Kessy attacked out of the middle. I think she's got a lot of offensive range. She's really mobile. I like her swinging around a little bit more, creating some movement in their offense.
She used to play on the left side with you and for part of her career. Now moved over to the right where she is just as comfortable. And EY taps it, hits the line, 21-18. Branagh and Youngs force a game number 3, a classic here in Houston, Texas, between the tour's top 2 teams. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the AVP Crocs Tour Houston Open, presented by Warehouse Pool Supplies. We are all tied up 1 game apiece as we head to game number 3. But first, let's go to the KFC Grill Zone. St. John Smith with Elaine Youngs.
Okay, Elaine, they played really tough the first game. They beat you. You came back and did even better the second game. Now, what do you have to do the third game to put them away?
Well, we'll see what happens, but we chose this side for a reason. Both teams have won who have chosen this side, so I feel like the win's a little bit better. Our serving got better. I sided out better that game. I just got to continue it.
Okay, good luck.
Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh have not lost a match this season on the AVP Tour.
24-0.
Pretty impressive.
1-0. Kessy and Ross.
It's interesting, EY talked about choice of side, but it seems like the wind's dying a little bit and shifting a little bit towards April Ross right now.
April Ross with nobody home delivers it for 2-0.
Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs got stuck in transition, and neither of them decided to stay up at the net and block. You see them looking at each other, trying to figure out who's going to stay at the net. April Ross hits it right down the middle.
Elaine Youngs passes it high. Branagh puts up a nice set. Cut shot by Branagh. Wise to go over on 2. Make it 1-2.
But Nicole Branagh did not hit an easy angle. It's a tight ball. This is a great dig by Jen Kessy, April Ross. Watch this ball right along the nest. Nice cut shot by Nicole Branagh. Wow.
That is so tough to do.
It is, especially on a second ball when you don't have a lot of time to get there.
Below average player like myself could never hit that shot, Holly. You and St. John, yes, me no. Kessy to the line, 3-1. Kessy and Ross looking for their first finals victory over Branagh and Youngs ever. They're 0-5.
Jen Kessy, the key for them is siding out. That's a nice high line. She needs to continue to do that.
Jen Kessy did win the Goddess of the Beach competition last year, which is an individual event.
Crocs Souls United. Again, more than 300 million people live each day without shoes. Help pledge Crocs. With Souls United, we're committed to providing shoes for everyone. Helping shoe the world.
Jen Kessy and April Ross seeking their first finals victory ever over Branagh and Youngs. They are 0-5. 2 of them came this year, Panama City and Riverside. They lead 3-2 here in game 3. We play at the 15, you must win by 2. Ross, nice job of keeping it off the net. Kessy goes to the cut shot, which you talked about earlier in this broadcast, 4-2. She's got that shot, she needs to use it.
She's got that shot, you know, you go high line, cut shot, you mix it up, and then you add some heat in there as well. And I think I like her going for a back set as well. So the more variety she throws at EY Nicole, I think the better.
Seems like Jen's vision has been outstanding in this final as well. How she's seeing where the defensive people are setting up against her.
Kessy and Ross have missed the last 2 serves. They're going for it. This is game 3. They want it.
Got to be aggressive, right?
Yeah, you have to. And good things happen when you're aggressive.
You know their motto, go hard or go home.
Absolutely.
Do you have that same motto?
I agree.
There's another good pass. Kessy. We talked about some different things in the opening. You said they needed to be different. Maybe Jen Kessy blocking most of the time, mixing up their shots, being aggressive serving. How do you think they've played up to this point, leading 5-3?
I think they've done it really well. Jen Kessy's continuing to run to the net. She's got some points off her short serve. I think they've had success at it.
Are you saying win or lose, this is pretty much how they need to play though against this team?
I think it's a step in the right direction. You know, trying to beat the #1 team is never easy, and I think that they're making progress. Last time they lost in 2 in Riverside. This time I think they're playing them a lot tighter.
Switching sides, 6-4. Kessy and Ross, if you were coaching them, what would be your advice to them? You've been in so many finals yourself, won so many, lost so many. Sorry, you haven't lost that.
I was going to say, did you have to say that?
You know what I mean, Holly McPeak. You've been on both sides.
I just happened to have to play against Misty, May Trainer, and Carrie Walsh a lot. That's not fair. I like what they're doing. I think aggressive serving, mixing it up, trying to create some point opportunities. I think that's what they need to do. So they're going in the right direction.
Will you coach one day? That's a topic for another day. We'll get back to that. Ace serve, April Ross, 7-4.
April Ross is on the side that you might consider the bad side with the wind at her back, but the wind has kind of died. Not feeling a lot of wind, so she's just bombing it.
6 aces for April Ross. That's a great match.
That's a fantastic match.
Especially if you have her on your fantasy team. Add another one. 8-4. 7 aces for April Ross.
7 aces in one match.
7 aces in one match.
You pretty much have to win that match.
And a smart timeout by Brandon Youngs. They want to cool off April Ross as Ross and Kessy are up 8-4 here in our third game. We'll be back with more Game 3 action. April Ross delivers. Welcome back to the AVP Crocs Tour Houston Open, presented by Warehouse Pool Supply. April Ross has been on fire, Holly, 7 aces.
Bombing her serve, and that's really been the difference in this match. 7 aces so far.
And she's been putting them in all kinds of different places, not just down the middle or at one person, everywhere.
That's what makes her the best server on this tour.
To beat the #1 team, you said this before, and to win here on the AVP Tour, you have to have the killer instinct. Do they have it?
I think they do. They've been really close, and I think they've been discouraged by all the losses against this team, but I think they have it.
Branagh down the line, 5-8. To knock off the champs, you can't have any let-ups. And one thing I can guarantee is EY Nicole will not give you the match. That is for sure. As this team has been here so many times.
Kessy Ross are right now 8-5. They just need to continue to side out.
Ross into the middle of the court, gets a high set. Branagh swats it back, but they'll have another opportunity. Off the net and long, 6-8.
Big block play, point 8-6. That's a big one. That's the thing, Kessy and Ross, they've got to lead, but you have to side out and continue to score points to win this match. EY and Nicole Branagh are not going to give it to you.
Coming up after this match, another incredible final for you. Phil Dahlhauser and Todd Rogers, the world's #1 team, taking on Sean Scott and John Hayden.
Sean Scott and John Hayden playing extremely well. Saw them play earlier.
I see Holly with your hands up saying why.
I disagree with that call. That was a hard-driven ball.
What do you think of that?
No, that was a decision. No. Yes.
She couldn't do anything else.
Yes.
No, coming right here.
Yes.
How can
I'm
she
sorry.
do that?
Okay.
What do you
had-
think,
you had
Peter?
this-
I can't hear
you
what
had
he's
this
saying.
choice.
Barely touched the ball. She barely
You said it barely
EY,
touched the ball,
where you were
so
standing,
it's still
that was a
hard-driven.
decision.
I believe it was hard-driven as well.
Let's take a look at this, Holly.
April Ross just goes up and hammers this, barely touches Nicole Branagh. Hard-driven right at EY's head.
That had pace on it.
Definitely enough pace.
Holly, explain that rule.
The ball needs to be hard driven in order to dig it overhand with 2 hands like you saw Elaine do. But what they're saying is the ball touched the block and was slowed down by the block. So it wasn't as hard driven as a normal hard hit would be without a deflection on the block.
Well done, ma'am.
Did I explain that okay?
Yeah. St. John shaking his head yes. He approves. 7 facing 9. Brandon Youngs took a timeout down 8-4. He'll climb back in with tough serves like that. Kessy from the right side. Open hand dig by Ross. EY. Blocked by April Ross. 10-7.
That is a huge block by April Ross. Elaine Youngs just tried to hammer it. Let's look at this whole play. This is a nice dig by Nicole Branagh. Hangs out in the middle of the court, hammers it with nobody up. April Ross digs it. EY gets a free ball in the middle of the court, wants to just sizzle the line. April Ross knows it, jumps into it for a huge block to go up 10-7.
Remember that play. That could be your KFC sizzling moment of the match if they win.
I agree.
So that was going to be for 9-8. Another open hand dig, right to EY. And EY says, I'm not going hard driven. I'm going to be smart and tap it right over the block. 8-10.
It's very unusual for EY to make a hitting error, but she thought she could sizzle that by April Ross, and April Ross took it away from her at the last second.
Still thinking about that block.
I
That was
know.
a really good, kind of
Could
snuck
be a
up on
game
us, didn't it?
changer.
Kessy to the middle. Oh, the poke save by Kessy after the block by EY. Tight ball, and Kessy puts it away. EY answered with a great block, but Kessy with a poke save.
Huge poke save to keep that ball alive. She gets another swing, and Jen Kessy just hammered that ball from the left. Here's the block. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the block. That was the great dig by Nicole Branagh.
And then put it away just by the left hand of EY.
Huge. She just came in hard and sizzled that angle. I think Kessy and Ross are tasting victory, and they want it.
They are 4 points away. EY, so good at that shot. 11-9, we switch with Kessy and Ross leading.
Kentucky grilled chicken is here. Marinated and grilled to perfection for that 5-star ball-to-bone taste.
This is crunch time for Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs. They need to score points.
EY just hits it wide.
Fantastic big dig by Nicole Branagh. Elaine Youngs made a great move. Watch this play.
The athleticism of Elaine Youngs, she just misses this. She has no other choice.
No, she ran across the whole court, tried to make a nice high pokey play, just misses it by inches. Great play by both players.
12-9, Kessy Ross 3 points away from their first AVP title. Incredible set and attack by EY, but Ross with a dig, and Ross puts it away. 13-9.
Fantastic play. It all starts with that serve by April Ross. She got a little tweak on the play. Great dig by April Ross. She just goes in and buries that angle, hitting the back line.
You mentioned April Ross and Jen Kessy tasting victory. They're now 2 points away.
What a set by Elaine Youngs. That was money, and Nicole Branagh delivered. She was about 20 feet off the net.
Swinging from right to left.
Perfect back bump set. I mean, right on the money, and Nicole Branagh just hammered it.
That was a great play. I mean, the over-the-shoulder attack, too. You've seen this before. EY late in the game 3. See what happens on her tough serve. She goes off speed a little bit in front of April Ross. And Branagh buries it, 11-13.
How about the deflection by EY to keep that ball alive? Gives her partner a nice, juicy set. Nicole Branagh gets a kill.
I'm enjoying this. Are you enjoying this match?
This is a fantastic match.
A high-level match here in Houston, Texas. A timeout by Kessy and Ross, 13-11.
Happy birthday to Dr. Peggy Alvey.
Jen Kessy and April Ross, Holly. Pressure on them now, leading by 2. Then they have 2 points to go to get their first ever AVP title together. 0-9 for Jen Kessy. An emotional offseason, going through a divorce. She's been through a lot. Now she's in the best shape of her life. They've had to persevere as a team so much. What would this mean to them?
This is huge. This is getting that monkey off their back, winning their first team title on the AVP Tour. I think it's a huge moment for them. But they're also facing EY, one of the most clutch servers in the world, serving a little bit into
right
the
here.
win.
Yeah.
It's all right now.
This is what you want. If you're going to win your first AVP final, it's got to be under these circumstances.
Definitely. You want the challenge, you embrace the challenge, and winning that challenge is that much more rewarding.
And here we go. Elaine Youngs, your server, 3-time Olympian, 45 titles. Their undefeated streak of 24-0 on the AVP Tour this year on the line. They go to Kessy. And Kessy answers. 14-11.
Huge side out by Jen Kessy. And EY made a great block move into the angle, just wasn't over the net, or she would have had a stuff block. Jen Kessy, April Ross go up 14-11. Game match championship point for Kessy and Ross. EY hits it down the line, 12-14. Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs have come back from deficits. They still believe they can win this game. I think the pressure's on Kessy and Ross right now. Big side out.
You say, you just have to side out for the win, but it is easier said than done, especially under these circumstances.
Well, when you start thinking about it like that, we just have to side out. We just have to side out. You just got to say, hey, let's do what we do right now.
Who are they going to serve? Real quick.
She's going for it. I think it's Kessy.
That's why you're here. Kessy. Ross for the win. Got it! April Ross and Jen Kessy. The monkey is off the back. They win their first AVP title ever together. For Jen Kessy, her 5th overall. 3 international, 1 individual, and now an AVP crown. April Ross, her 4th title overall. 3 international, and her first ever on the AVP Crocs Tour. You have to be happy for her. April Ross buries it. EY lays it out, but she can't do it. There's the celebration. Jen Kessy and April Ross break through in 2009. Let's now go to St. John Smith in our Gatorade Champions interview. St. John.
I'm here with the champions. They're very excited. Your first victory on the AVP Tour. How's it feel?
Oh my God, such a relief. I can't even tell you. I'm gonna cry. So it's awesome.
She doesn't cry very often, so this is a big moment for us. It's been a really long time, and that game, EY Nicole can come back at any moment. That we stayed steady and we sided out every time.
Thanks, ladies, and congratulations. Our KFC sizzling hot moment of the match. We talked about this, Holly, when it happened. This is at 9-7.
This is a fantastic rally. Watch the defense. Nicole Branagh, big dig right here. With nobody up, April Ross makes a great dig, keeps it alive. EY just goes up to hammer this ball. April Ross makes a fantastic block move into EY's line, gets a huge changing moment for me, block on EY.
Jen Kessy gets a hug from Todd Rogers. Coming up next, Rogers will take center stage as he and his partner Phil Dahlhauser, the gold medalist from the United States, will take on Johnny Hayden and Sean Scott. Here it is, game match championship point. April Ross puts it away. Ross and Kessy break through in 2009 and win their first title.